Hey everyone, my name's Cale Robertson. I go by the tag retryW, and today I'm going to show you how to create a Codius contract from scratch and then upload it to a host. The first thing you're going to need is a main dependency, which is Node.js. Just go to nodejs.org and download the recommended version. I already have it downloaded, so I'm not going to install it, but it's pretty much just a next situation. Once you've got that installed, you're going to want to open command prompt and install the other two main dependencies, which is moneyd, so that you can actually pay another server to host your contract. We're going to go npm install /g, so it's global, not just in this directory, moneyd space moneyd-uplink-xrp. This can take a while to install, as there's quite a few dependencies. Cool, so now that we've installed moneyd, we need to configure it. So moneyd-xrp configure and hit enter. Use xrp configure because we're using the xrp uplink. Then you just type in your xrp secret. I'm not going to show this bit. Cool, now moneyd is configured. Now all we need to do is check that it works. moneyd-xrp start. Should load up. And the first time it'll have to create a payment channel, so it might take a little while. And after a bit we should see it come up saying connected. Cool, connected ready. So that means it's working perfectly. So I'm just going to close this for now because we don't need moneyd. And now I need to install Codius. So npm install /g Codius. Okay, so now that that's installed, the only other dependency before we can actually go and create our contract is Docker. That's what will actually build the contract into a pod that can be uploaded and run as its own little application instance. So we need to go to docker.com/community edition, get Docker from store. I've got Windows, so Docker Community Edition for Windows. I might just post this link. You need to log in to download it. So just, if you haven't already got an account, create an account. So once you've logged in, scroll down, download Docker CE for Windows Stable Edition. I've actually already downloaded it to save time, so I'll just run the installer. I don't really need a shortcut. Hit OK. Okay, cool. So the installation's finished. Sometimes it'll automatically show up in here, but we might just need to type in Docker for Windows, open the app. You can see in the system tray it's starting up. Cool, there we go. Docker's now online, so we'll just log in. Cool, so now that we're in, we can see Docker is running. Now that we've got Docker running, Codius running, and moneyd running, we can finally get on to creating the actual contract. So I'll create a new folder, my first contract. So the first file we're going to want to create is a package.json, and that's what Node.js is going to use when we use the npm install, so that we can get the correct dependencies. I've already written it up, so just called node.js. The main file is server.js, dependencies, EJS and Express. Express is what's going to create the web server, and EJS is what I use to render the pages. I like it quite a lot. So I'm just going to save this, desktop, my first contract, put it under all files and call it package.json. And now I can see there it is. The next file we're going to need is the actual server itself, which I've got here. So all it is, Express creates an Express HTTP server. It sets the view engine to EJS. You don't have to do this, especially for such a simple app, but I think it's a really clean way of doing things. And then when you request the root URL, it renders the index page, and then it listens. The server listens on port 1337. So we're going to save that, save it under all types, and call it server.js. And there it is. And the third one, we need to actually have an index page. So this is just a very basic HTML page. It's just got a header saying index page. So we can just save that. Once again, just all types, index.ejs. Due to the way EJS works, I'm going to make a folder called views, go into that, make a folder called pages, go into that, and save it here. So in your folder you got your server, your package, under views, pages, you got index.ejs. The reason I've got that there is just in the server, it's got /pages/index is where the index page is, and EJS adds a /view, expects there to be a /views before that. Cool, so now our server is ready to test. So we open up command prompt again, cd to desktop, cd to my first contract, and now we're going to make use of that package.json by going npm install, and we'll do a /save, which will create a locked version of that package.json. Now you can see there's some node modules and package.json in here, and that means our server is ready to run. So node server.js, now it's running. That means we can open up our browser, go to localhost, excuse me using Edge, for some reason Chrome just refuses to open, and so localhost colon 1337, and this is my index page. Hopefully this will be running on a Codius host soon. So that means our server is running perfectly. We can hit Control-C a few times to close out of that. So now we know the server runs perfect. All we need to do is turn it into a container so it can be uploaded to a Codius host. To do that, we need to use Docker. So back in our my first contract page, I'll open up Notepad++ again, and we need to create a Docker file. So this is going to be my Docker file from Node 8.11.3, so that just uses the latest full build of Node. I use that because I think 8.9 is the supported version from moneyd and Codius. Sets a working directory. This is inside the container. So inside the container, the working directory is /app. Add the current container, so everything in my first contract, to /app inside the container. And then when it's building the container, it runs an npm install, and only the production version of the npm install. So that does all the node modules that were found in package.json. And then expose 1337, and that's because in our server we had the server listening on 1337. The command npm start will by default run the server.js in the current folder. So that's all the Docker file does. So we hit save, change it to all files, and this is literally just called Docker file with no extension. And then we've got a Docker file, just a file. So now that we've done that, we need to build it. Open up our command prompt again. We're already in the my first contract page, which is good. And now we can write docker, first you need to do docker login. And now we're going to do docker build /t my username / what we want to call the image. So first contract, and then space full stop. So full stop's going to be the current directory. So it's going to build from the current directory. Awesome. So now it's been built. The next thing we need to do is publish it. Docker push Cale Robertson / first contract. Hit enter. And this is going to push it up to your own Docker repository, which will be at hub.docker.com. It's kind of like a GitHub repository, sort of. Cool, so that's installed. We're going to need to use this digest when we create the manifest that we use to upload to Codius. So now it's actually time to create the manifest. This is pretty much the final step before we can upload. So go back to Notepad++, I got this manifest file here, and just give it any name you want. So Codius first manifest, make sure port is the same port we had exposed so that it can talk to Codius and be exposed to the public. And under the image, your username slash the name of the image. So up here we called it first contract, so Cale Robertson / first contract, and then the @ symbol, and then the digest. So we're just going to go back to the digest, copy that, put it at the end after the @ and before the quotes and the colon, and working directory is /app. Now we're going to file save as, and we're going to name it, chuck it under, if you have it, JSON file type, otherwise all types, and just call it first manifest.json, and I'm going to paste it somewhere easy to find, so eDrive first manifest.json. Save it. Okay, so now that we've saved that manifest, it's ready to go. So now we're going to open up command prompt, and we need to start moneyd again. So moneyd-xrp start. Make sure you don't click anywhere in the window. It might accidentally, if you click, it'll go into the select mode and it will stop running anything. So if that happens, just right click and then it should get back to normal. Once you see connector ready, then you know it's good to go. Once again, make sure you don't click in the window to go into select mode, otherwise the next bit won't work. So open a second command prompt and Codius upload, then the path to the manifest you just made. So mine was first manifest.json / host, and then your host name. So mine is host1.codius.live. Make sure it has HTTPS at the front or it won't work. Duration 300, so that means 5 minutes, and then we hit enter. We should start seeing packets flying in moneyd. Yep. So now we know that it's sending little bits of money to the host, and hopefully it will give us back a successful upload. It can take a little while, especially if this particular manifest or image has never been uploaded to a host before. Awesome, and it's been uploaded. So the URL, so that's the URL that we'll be able to look at the pod at. If you open this URL too quickly, sometimes, because the pod is an application, we built a whole server that has to launch up. So if you open this up too quickly, like within the first 5 seconds, it might give you an internal error. So just wait maybe 10-20 seconds before going to that URL. The hash, which is the same as in the URL. Expiry dates, how long until it expires, and then the price paid in drops. So that's like 0.0001 XRP or something. So now if we open up our browser, we can browse to that link, and look at that. This is my index page, and hopefully this is running on a Codius host, and it is. It's running at host1.codius.live. It's a secured page, so there you go. And that is how you create from scratch a contract, application, whatever, turn it into a pod and upload it to Codius. I hope this video has been helpful. Let me know if you need any help, and please leave any feedback on the video. Thanks, bye.